Hello. Okay, thank you for joining us today. I will talk about some news today. Okay, so you can take a look. Okay, so first one is road to VR.com. Okay, road to VR.com. The news, this article or this post is written by Scott Hayden. The title is Pico Neo 3 specs revealed. Snapdragon XR2 physical IPD adjustments and more. Okay, so in this article, it talks about Pico Interactive announced last week that Neo 3, the Beijing-based company's next standalone VR headset, is slated to arrive to consumer in Asia starting on May 10, 2021, and to enterprise in the West sometime this summer. We had only seen a single partial rendering of Pico Neo 3. However, now the company has revealed more of the headsets, alongside revealing a few basic specs. Okay, so let's take a look of the specs. Pico Neo 3 will include Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 chipset, Wi-Fi 6 antenna, optical controllers with embedded tracking sensors, 3 physical IPD adjustments, 4 wide angle cameras provide millimeter level positioning and tracking. Curved screen locked at 90 Hz refresh. Okay, so these are the specs. So pretty much, you know, this is going to launch pretty soon. And in late March, the company announced it was opening its own publishing division called Pico Studio. The company says it will be partnering with the global developers to bring its 60OF VR apps and games to consumers in Asia. The company has already struck its Pico store with around 400 apps, which include a number of fan favorites localized for Chinese consumption, such as Super Hot VR, Epic's Construct, Angry Birds VR, IOPix, and Ragged and X. Okay, as for the West, Pico is still focusing on serving enterprise clients and B2B with Neo 3, which makes sense since there are very few companies up to the task of undercutting the successful Oculus Quest platform by Facebook. It's important to note that China-based consumers can't purchase Oculus device as Facebook is banned in the country, which makes for an interesting state of affairs. Pico Interactive has been armed with a fresh B and B plus funding round though among around $67 million, and there is no telling what inroad Pico will make outside of Asia in the future. Wow. So pretty much because Oculus or Facebook is banned in China, so that's why Pico. Yeah, of course, I find out that China is spending every big companies around the world, and they just start learning from other company and start their you know um, super giant company in China that I would say monopoly. Yeah. To kind of like make it super big in China, but it's kind of learn from other giants in the world. Okay, so Pico is one of the examples. So you can see that Beijing-based company right now they are integrating tons of good high-tech stuff. Um, yeah, so So that's for sure. And they are tailoring, I think Pico is really smart because right now, VR, the majority of people using VR in China or in Taiwan or in Asia is more for games, right? Because in Asia, there's a very interesting phenomenon which is called uh, cyber or um, coffee shop for game. It's like it has a personal space. Yeah, because when I was pretty young, I was raised and grew up in Taiwan, and during that time, the culture is that um, there are tons of places which serve some really delicious meals, and they have super fast Wi-Fi. And inside that, they have like a super high-end computer. So a lot of teenagers or young people, they just hang there for the whole day, right? You can pay. It's like a rental system. So pretty much you go there, you just eat the meal. You can order the meals there, and you just spend the whole day there. So this is because of this types of culture. It's so easy for gaming, like a VR game to come through. So for VR, gaming, the gaming is much better, and especially 5G. When I went back to Taiwan this year, pretty much I used my mom's 5G. My mom has 5G phones, which is crazy because I mean I'm considered to be the the one who got the most high tech equipment, right? But my mom doesn't even know what's AR VR. She know 5G because she has, but she doesn't even know. She knows that it will run faster. That's it. But she already has a 5G phone, which she thinks is pretty good because it's the same price, but from 4G to 5G. So I would say that the technology, especially the hardware part, China or Asia is much, much ahead of America, especially because in Asia, people live closer to each other, which accelerates 5G. Because in 5G, you have to, install some, I would say some sensors or some equipments, very close to each other. And 5G, and 5G can accelerate tons of stuff like self-driving cars or VR, like since it's no latency. So, it's definitely really good. So you see, China is usually, or Asia, most of the country, because they are not bound in USA law, right? So they can kind of, um, very free to take or learn from other people's knowledge and then apply to their product. And since they have a really strict, you know, self-protection laws for inside their country. So yeah, so I can see like um, Pico will be the next like Baidu, Alibaba, or WeChat, some other giant companies, right? So yeah, so I can pretty much see that. Okay, so let's see another article is from Forbes. The author is Charlie Fink. Yeah, so and the title is This Week in XR. Fortnite's billion-dollar metaverse, surgical robots, XR art, immersive concerts, Nvidia 2. Okay, so let's take a look of the today's news. So the first one, if you can see my screen, I think this looks pretty cool. It looks like a trash planet, and there's an alien is working on top of it. Okay, so it's called Travis Scott in Astronomical from Epic Games, Front Night. Okay, so first one is Epic Games plans metaverse flag on Fortnite Island. The maker of the mega hit game and Unreal Engine game development platform has landed another cool billion in a new round of funding. The company says they are building of the metaverse, an interconnected platform for games, e-commerce, social media, and entertainment. it values Epic at $28.7 billion, but a public offering might bring 5 times that number. Okay, so pretty much they are funding for this game, for the VR game. Um, I would say a few months ago, I played a really interesting game, VR game. I forgot the name, but that was really interesting. Is that there are so many different, like in the game, pretty much it's time based, and there are so many weird planets you have to explore. And when you wear the headset, you can, you will, be in a spaceship, and then you go through like different planet. Some planet they have like giant sea fish, right? It's like really creative and a little dreamy stuff. And then at the end you will find out that eventually we are going to die. Why? Because the sun will approach you and devour you. So I would say this game is really meaningful. And there are so many weird, I would say very weird little elements. And it seems like the game only runs every, I forgot how many minutes, but there is a time limit. And every time when you die, you go back to the original spot. It's really like a reincarnation. And every time, like, but the previous place you explore was not wested. For example, like if you travel to the another planet, you will get the knowledge of that, and the world will slightly different because you travel there. It's very interesting. It's like, yeah, when I played that, I find out the game mechanics was really interesting. For example, there was a, a twin planet, which, for example, like um, sometimes you can put, the sand, and there will be a tube, and the sand will go over from one planet to another, and while another one, will have some weird effects to it. So you have to make sure you are not dying while exploring those unknown planet. So yeah, so when I see that, it reminds me of that VR game. It's really interesting, that game. I really forgot the name, but maybe next time I can bring it up. But yeah, that's it. Okay, so NVIDIA introduced the Om, Omni, Omniverse. I think it's interesting that everyone likes like a metaverse, Omniverse or something verse, right? For VR, for the VR company. So I mean maybe it's a code name. So okay, so this almost got past us as it was introduced at NVIDIA's GTC conference earlier this week, and it seems a little bit too inside baseball. But this story shows how it's not. The metaverse for engineers based on open source platform from Pixar is enabling BMW to test a real factory as a digital twin before building its twin IRL. Okay, so pretty much they are trying to build something, yeah, and then yeah, metaverse. Okay, so they are going to have the open source platform from Pixar for engineer, something like that. Okay, so let's see the next news. Um, the Carver's Surgical hopes to raise 460 millions for their VR surgery platform. Okay, as for surgical stuff, I think VR really helps surgeon or doctors or intern doctors to practice the surgery before they actually operate. And it's also, there are so it's really dangerous, or you let people expose in and in a place that there are so many real knife, real tools without being properly trained. You let the doctor go to the operation room without fully prepared, that's extremely dangerous. And training a doctor by using the real tool, real dead body is also expensive. And some people think it's kind of, pretty scary to go to the room with the dead body and trying to learn how to do things. It's pretty scary as well. So I think the VR surgical really surgery platform really helps the doctors, surgeons to practice. So the company plans on going public um, NYSE with a 1.1 billion evaluation. If this happens, they will be the second VR unicorn company. Wow. I think the first one is probably, I don't know the first one, but the second one. I wish that Charlie can write about who's the first one. Yeah, their surgical robot use VR to bring surgeons inside a patient to do minimum invasive surgery. Okay, so it's very interesting because I just got a surgery this this January. I fly back to Taiwan and did a surgery for my fibroids. I was diagnosed there was a 14 centimeter fibroids inside my uterus, so I must did the operation. It's benign. Actually, it is fine if I just let it grow. I won't die, but I just feel like I have to take it out. It's so gross. So yeah, so I mean, I went to the surgery room and then there are so many different types of surgery. For example, there's a surgery called Da Vinci arm surgery. Pretty much it put, small needles or something and draw a small hole to your, uterus. And through that, and the doctor can see a giant screen and operate like super small needles or something inside the uterus. So, the difference between traditional surgery and the new surgery is that the traditional one will leave a super big scars, but the small one it just leave a small hole. But the doctor needs to break, I would say, at least 10 to 20 needles in order to remove the fibroid from my uterus. So that's why we choose the traditional one, which took probably 3 hours for the entire fibroid cut out. So I think this will definitely help. For example, it will help doctors because the traditional one, the doctor need to operate inside the room, but the future one, according to like as for Da Vinci arm for the surgical stuff, the equipment is $1 billion. So yeah, the surgery will be probably, I mean, I know in Taiwan is much cheaper and much better, has a much cheaper and better medical system than in America. And in Taiwan, the basic cost for Da Vinci arm surgery is probably, I would say, 15K USD dollars. So that's why I choose the traditional one. That's why I have an ugly scar on my tummy. So yeah, so I mean, VR surgery will definitely help because not like the doctor can practice, and the second, the wound or anything like doctor can just like operate in front of a computer. Doctor doesn't have to be in the room. So I think this will definitely help improve the surgery level. Okay, so that's the next one. Virtually secure 18 million to support the defense industry, expand AI-driven analytics and 3D visualization technology. Okay, so the interesting things about the VR AR thing is that they have an animated 3D visualization in real time, in real space with the 3D model. This is totally different from the traditional website. Why I say the traditional website is information overloaded? Why? Because it's not customized according to what user wants. It's more organized through what the designer wants. Even though a lot of UX UI designer will say, oh, we did a lot of research. The user knows where to find the information. But, for the traditional UX UI website, the user is passive, right? If I want something, I need to press something and I have to have a structure in mind so I can find something. But as for XR, the UX UI is totally different from the 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 UX UI is totally different from the traditional one. Why? Because when you want something, it's more intuitive and there's no rigid structure. It's everything. If you want something, it's like there's a single button or something, and it's more storytelling, and everything can update lively. And as for AR, if you see a lot of AR apps, there are not many buttons. There are not many, like scrolling text. It's pretty much, I would say, similar to if you use traditional website, it's like you are reading a novel of Harry Potter, right? But if you are in the VR, world or XR world, it's like you are playing Harry Potter game, or you are watching Harry Potter's movie, and people's mind. It's easier for people to learn from storytelling or interactive stuff uh, instead of reading a page of book. I think right now the website design is kind of like traditional books, right? It's like laying out nicely and you click. Yeah, it's like it's a little different. It's structured a little differently. It's like more like click through PowerPoint, right? But in XR, it's really you need to fully understand the whole structure in order for the the player or the user to go through different stuff and have a fully not only visual sound, so like the user can learn through visual sound, and haptics, all the different part of um, the body, so the user can learn more, right? So yeah, this company is virtualytics is letting people transport into VR to view data with other users. The Air Force is using virtualytics for predictive maintenance for aircraft, ensuring military readiness and low cost. Okay, so yeah, let's see other news. Amaze VR raises 9.5 million to bring immersive concerts to VR. Okay, the goal of the company, similar to Wave XR's new defunct VR unit, hopes to provide fans close-up personal views of pre-recorded concert content with CGI effects included. The concerts will be coming to VR headsets, pop-up events, and movie theaters later in 2021. Okay, so let me share with you the video. Okay, let me change the. Okay, if you can see my video, you can see that basically, there are users, and users can sit on the haptical chairs, and everything will be mapping to wow, a tour bus and through movie theaters. This is pretty cool and amazing VR app, the ultimate fan experience. So pretty much they integrate with wow. Okay, so in this video, you can pretty much see the whole shooting process and the results. Okay, so Amaze VR raises $9.5 million to bring immersive concerts to VR. The goal of the company is similar to Wave VXR's now defunct. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so pretty much they are going to bring the immersive concerts to VR. Okay, so Snapchat will bring AR momentous across Los Angeles. The monuments are a partnership between Snap and LACMA to showcase artists and lens creators, celebrating diverse histories across LA from a variety of different cultures. Those in LA can see the landmarks on the Snap map within platform. Oh, Snap the maps. Okay, so yesterday we talked about Samsung's Canvas app. Yeah, they also have a map in the front page. So I think people are learning from each other. So yeah, so yeah, before I think in my previous meetup, I talked about Snapchat having some, word mark or location mark. So pretty much you can partner with your friends and paint some cool stuff in your, local space. So yeah, Snapchat is kind of doing that as well in LA. And then Quest 2 is getting a huge update. The update introduced wireless PC VR, 120 Hz refresh, and keyboard and desktop tracking. Keyboard and desktop tracking allow users to type and mark their desk in their Guardian while in VR, bringing to life their virtual office concept from last year. The wireless PC VR named AirLink streams VR to your desk to your computer, uh, so you can have a extremely stable Wi-Fi connection. The next one is the Pico 903 specs were revealed last week. The headset, which will be releasing on May 10th, 2021, will have a Snapdragon XR2 chipset. The same chip Oculus 2 has, 3IPD adjustment for wide-angle cameras for positioning and capturing, a curved 90 Hz screen, and a Wi-Fi 6 antenna. The headset will be released outside of Asia sometime during this summer. The next one, Z Fit, launches on the Oculus App Store. Via Zoom, the company behind the app, is dictating to transform the exercise VR space. The app allows users to work out and exercise the world on Oculus Quest first and second. User can connect their headset to most smart bikes or work out through a full body exercise. It's really interesting during pandemic that every big companies is doing the home gym or a lot of exercise program in different or create their own platform, such as Apple. Apple has their own fitness program. So if you buy Apple Watch, you can get 1 month free access to the fitness program. Right now, a lot of companies they are working on integrating their platform to home gym as well. Okay, so let's take a look for the next one. The next news is from the Art News. The website is called the Art Newspaper, theartnewspaper.com. Okay, so the author is, yeah, I didn't see the author. Okay, so that's fine. So the title is called "Unfolding Shines" is some of the most ambitious augmented reality art we have seen in the last year. Okay, so let's see. What is it? Unfolding Shines is an exhibition produced by Shape Arts in collaboration with Hot Knife Digital Media, where 4 artists, Jason, um, Sophie, Rebecca, and Uma, present art in augmented reality. Okay, so let's see. The imagination of marginalism has always tended towards the radical steers by the palpable need to create something new where the old is unfit for purpose, where the outdated system have failed. Mind these radical resigns proffered automated futures. So Ship AR said that we have seized this opportunity to chronicle the world dream up through this time of disconnected, the augmented reality of marginalists and creatives in these rooms of tender tribute for artists that have built unfolding shines to people, place, and ideas that have revealed their importance against a backdrop of disruption. The imagination of marginalism has always tended towards radical steered by the palpable need to create something new where the old is unfit for purpose, where outdated systems have failed. My those radical residents proffered alternative future. So okay, so let's take a look of um, the, uh, the shapes. Okay, so if you can see my screen, um, you can see like there's something very weird inside the middle of something like circus. Yeah, so the next screen will be a very modern system. The next one will be, in a volcano. Um, the fourth one will be a lot of random, weird, I would say, random stuff inside it. So yeah, so their statements is that just like that, still sitting on the couch in my Seoul, Korea apartment, I am transported to the New York street. Yeah, I walk past them and encountering curious artistic objects at random street corners. So pretty much, they launch a VR app which allows people to go to different dreaming place and experience exotic, exotic scenes. So yeah, so okay, so thank you so much. This is today's news, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.